Welcome to Jay Plays Indie Games. This is Endless Legend, a 4X strategy game from the same people who brought you things like Endless Space. It's quite a fun game. I rather like it a lot. I've played the campaign through one time. Well, campaign. I've played the game one time. It didn't take exceptionally long, even though the entire end game was just me kind of clicking in turn because I was going for a specific victory type. I didn't find it super challenging, but it was still quite fun. I left it on normal difficulty, as I will here. For this game, I'm going to leave the graphics turned basically all the way up. The resolution options are going to be, let's see, full screen, 1280 by 720 because that works for my setup here. And everything's set to fantastic. It still runs at a very nice 60 frames per second on my frames per second. Wow, I can't speak. It has been too long. On my computer, it runs quite well, so it should at least visually show you what the game looks like if you're interested in looking at that. But it's a fun 4X strategy game. I like 4X strategy games. I like short strategy games as well. So this is going to be a lot of fun. All right, new game. And here we go. How do we want to set this up? Do we want to set it to all 8 factions here? Set it to random, a couple of factions. Yeah, everything's set to random there. How many factions are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's not the factions at all, is it? Holy crap. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, there are 9 factions. Actually, there are only 8 because 2 of them are exactly the same. The Vultures and the Mazari are the same thing. I don't know what's up with that. But whatever, they're the same thing. Yeah, we'll go with 8 factions on a large map to make that work out for us. Hopefully they'll all be quite different. I don't know if random does that or not. Or if 2 people end up the same, we might end up with a Mazari and a Vultures. Now for our own factions, we're going to select an empire. When I won the first time, it was as the Vultures, who are exactly the same as the Mazari. These two, there's no difference except for the graphics. This is quite nice. The graphical differences are actually neat, I would say. Look at that. The stories seem to be the same as well. Well, it says it has the same story. It says Vulture's main quest. Vulture's main quest. I played as the actual Vultures, though. Regardless, we're not going to play as them. I got a science victory with them. It was quite simple. So what kind of victory do we want? That's how we're going to choose who we're going to go with. These races are all very different, and I like that. Like, very, very different. These guys can't declare war, and I think their cities move. Like, nomadic cities. I don't know what's up with that. They didn't pop up very much in my last game. Or they did, but I pretty much ignored them. These guys, only one city. Which, is weird. These guys are your war race. They have to be at war, I think. And that's how they get food, really? If I'm reading their traits correctly. I know that I couldn't do any diplomatic options when I was fighting them. These guys have a cool production ability, and I'm assuming, because their main victory type is Wonder, that you build a Wonder to succeed with them. So they're like massive production people. These guys get bonuses to science. These guys don't even use food. So I'm not sure what's up with that. These power through pain. I don't know. They have like magic spells or something. This is really confusing. Like I read these. Their abilities are Painosphere. I don't know what's up with that. So, very different clans. Super diplomats. I don't want to go too much in the diplomacy side of things. I don't want to play as a race I've already played as. We're going to go with something to make things strange, though. I would say that the Wild Walkers, probably the most normal race here. It's probably why they're first on the list. They don't seem to have anything exceptionally weird. Let's go with something weird. Let's go with the Broken Lords. Appetite for dust means they don't have food. They cannot see, gather, or use food. They use money or dust to create people. Their hit points don't regenerate, and you can use dust to heal units. That's a bit strange. It's going to be very different from what I played before. They are dust efficient, so they get extra dust, which is good. That's going to be pretty necessary. And their units are dust things, so they've got a rider, a Dust Bishop, and a Stalwart. That's their units. You can get other units in the game. I'll show that off when it happens. Or maybe I won't. I don't really know. Broken Lord's main quest. So when you do these factions, you get a quest. You go on that quest, and you get like cool positive effects by doing the quest items. I did not actually manage to complete the Vaulter's quest when I went through it, because it required me to do something that would have required taking a very long time, and I just decided to win instead. Empire Mint and Advanced Armor are just two technologies they're going to start with. They're not the best technologies either, though. Empire Mint is going to be fairly nice, actually. Advanced Armor less so, unless I get some of these materials right off, but you have to drill just to get these materials, so it's not particularly helpful to start with that. But whatever. When story stuff comes along, I will read it. It doesn't come along that often. There aren't that many story steps when you get missions and stuff, so I will read story stuff and I'll let that kind of play out. But let's talk about these guys. Alright, their main victory type is Conquest, so I assume I have to destroy or defeat the other races. I mean, this is elimination. I don't know what the difference between elimination, conquest, and supremacy is. Diplomatic, I assume, is alliances. These guys build a wonder. Science victory is researching the final sciences in the game. That's what they go for as well. So, I don't know what the difference between supremacy, elimination, and conquest are, but I assume that I'm just going to... If I kill everyone, I'll win, right? So elimination works for anyone. A faction of knights and town builders, they exist only as spirits wrapped in great suits of armor. They are noble warriors who wear the polished armor of chivalry and adhering to its ideals. I'm not sure that's a real sentence. Even though they are immaterial and have lost much of their humanity. Okay, cool. So they're just empty suits of armor. We're going to select these guys. Kind of gone over them. I don't really know about them. And start the game. So it says things down here that are really cool. Like, at first from the void came the shape, and within the shape, continents rose from the seas. And then it's going to progress a little bit further. And, yeah, and it goes way too fast to hear. But so the void became the shape. It's too fast to hear, too fast to read. What am I saying words nowadays? I don't think I am. The shape became the land. The land became the rich, and all of that is me. Yay. I like the rich. Auriga. Auriga is something... Auriga is the name of the world, I suppose. Anyway, the loading screen doesn't take that long. I really like the visual. It's different for every race you play. Or at least I assume it is. It was different for these guys and the Vaulters.
We were different. We fought, drank, and loved as mortal beings. But our world changed and we faced a stark choice. Alter our bodies or perish. Yet survival is not the same as life. Now we are prisoners of the armor that binds us and the dust that sustains us. We must drain dust, drain energy, or die. Where is our honor now, lords of the Amber Plains? And what matters more? To reclaim our honor or sustain our bodies?
Okay. Yeah. Reclaim our honor, sustain our bodies, all that stuff. We're awesome, right? That's what the effect of that was. We're chivalrous knights of no longer having any honor because we don't want to die. Alright, this is the world map, as you can see. It has borders on edges and stuff. I left most things the same. It wraps around, actually, so I was wrong. It does not have borders on edges and stuff. But it stops at the top and the bottom. Let's see what we can see here. So if I zoom out, we have a more strategic view. Everything is broken down into regions, and this is my starting region. As you can see, we already have a resource here, a wine deposit. That's a luxury resource that if I get enough of it, I can just improve my approval on all my cities, which is pretty nice. But that might not be where we want to settle. We can just build on deposits regardless. So a couple things we can do here. We can make it show all the hexes. It's like little vague lines. You can see them a little bit. I wish that was a little bit more stark, but it's not, so I'm not going to whine. And then I can click on this, and yeah, this pops up and shows all the wondrous resources at our disposal. As far as I know, there's not an effect where you can just scroll over an area and it adds up all the stuff from around, but that's fine. I need to pick a settling location. Now, near this thing would be nice because it's got different things. This is science, this is dust, which is effectively money, and food for this race, apparently. And these ones are production, so no really good production places around here, which is almost fine. I mean, it's not really fine. I like having a lot of production. But we can go science and dust, as long as you have a couple of good resources, right? So I'm going to select my units here. So I have a settler, a stalwart, and a stalwart. And stalwarts are infantry. We also have a hero here. And I'll explain more about these heroes and units later. But let's select one stalwart and have him walk this way. So we can see maybe... Okay, we've encountered a minor faction. I'll talk about the minor factions a little bit. Basically, the natives of the land, until you pacify them, they work as barbarians. They come and attack your cities, whatever. After you pacify them, they can add little passive effects to your cities. So, plus 5% gold per pacified Delvers village on cities, which is particularly good for my race. So, Delvers are awesome. And they also give you access to a unit, if you pacify and assimilate them. So Delvers have their origins in humanoids that were trapped deep underground after an earlier cataclysm. They fought their way back up to the light after an effort of decades that made them skilled miners, tunnelers, and explorers. And they're right here. Right freaking next to where I want to go. They're in my region, though, which actually it's kind of perfect because Delvers are who I want. There's a strategic deposit, glass steel. It's very good to find. It allows us to improve our armor and such. And this is probably where I'm going to settle. I don't think it's a good idea to wait on settling very long. Where's this science coming from? Terrain with rocks. Science and rocks. They go together, I guess. Alright. We're going to progress along that way just a little bit. And, alright, click again. I'm going to select these stalwarts and have them explore the other way to see if there's something I'm missing. Alright, another minor faction, the Nydia. They give plus 5% initiative on units. That's interesting. Though bird-like in their appearance, the Nydia are closer to humanoid than one might think. The young are birthed, not hatched, and like other advanced peoples, their habitats are carefully chosen for defense, foraging, and observation. And they're in a different region. You can see the region border on this line here. Okay, 7 production at this spot. Mineral rich. Let's head down here and see if there's something. The haunts, 5% science per pacified village. And these cap out at 5, I think. So you can get plus 25% if I have 5 pacified haunts villages. But I have none right now. And they have a flying unit that they can give me, which is nice. An echo or ghost, effects of the ancient wars. These beings appear to be animated remnants of ancient intelligences. Their desire and purpose is unknown. There's science deposit there. So, here's my question. Should I go up here, which actually has some production, and plant myself right on this border so that I can have production? Or do I go down here and have some science, well, more science than up there, and have very little production, but lots of dust? I need the dust for sure. There's definitely less dust up here. I'm thinking I'm going to go here. And it's probably right in this spot that I should go, because it has, like, if I go here, I end up with this square, and there's nothing on that square. I can't go directly on top of this, I don't think. Otherwise I might. And here doesn't seem as good. Actually, this might be the best spot, because every square around it has some dust at least, whereas here this one does not. I think I'm sacrificing like 1 science if I go here instead of here. But that's kind of fine. And I'll have some production at least. So, yeah, that looks like the spot right there. And it's near this a glass steel deposit. Which is good. Actually, I don't think it actually makes a difference. But this sandstone luxury resource. Yeah, I think right here. That's where I want to put my first city. It's very important decision your first city. Let's see. So this is going to give me what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 production. No, not 8. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hexes. 7 hexes. So it's going to give me 6 production. 5, 11 science, and a butt ton of dust. Dust is what we need. Let's go here. Look at that. Right there. Right freaking there is another thing. Another area that's probably better. It's okay. I can build towards this. What the crap? It's way better. Look at that. Okay, you can expand your city, so I can get to those eventually, but this is disturbing. Like, I should have gone over here. If I had explored this way, I might have... I'm upset now. So, Salt Desert and Salt Rock Peel. Okay, and they're both in my territory. No one else is getting them either. 1, 2, 3. So, with 3 expansions of my city, I can get there anyway. I don't know if I'll be doing that, but... Well, I will eventually. It's going to take a long time. So, we have our first city. And how this works is, as in most 4X games, you build up from here. Different things. The Founders Memorial gets you nice, happy everything a little bit. Plus 2 production, plus 2 gold, or dust, plus 2 science, plus 2 influence. And that's all listed up here. This is my production for the city. My science for the city, my dust for the city, my influence for the city. Influence affects a lot of different stuff. You can do like empire planning. It's how you do treaties with other nations, stuff like that. Dust is working as my food and my purchasing power. Science is research, obviously. Production is how fast you build things, obviously. All right. This is probably the most important thing, the Empire Mint. Founders Memorial is faster though, and it gives me a little bit of everything. So I'm going to go ahead and pump out that Founders Memorial. Okay, so this is different from how I've seen it before. Normally, you've got a little bar here showing your progress to getting more people. But we don't have that. It looks like, we just don't have that bar. It still comes up with the effect that we do, but right here, you cannot afford these 56 needed to buy this population increase. Okay, so it costs 56 to increase my population, which doesn't sound like a lot, actually. I'll be able to do that next turn for sure. So, let's check out my units. Both of them have 0 movement. So we've all moved up. And we're going to start heading towards like unspoiled ruins and such. This game has them as well. And we're going to finish exploring out our region. And you can only have 1 city per region. So I'll be looking for a place to expand shortly. Let's see. Reselecting this city, by the way. This is my person. I can put him into any of these tiles. And this is how much he will add to that effect. So, Founders Memorial takes 9 turns. If I put it in production, it only takes 6 turns. Very nice. Next is research. First turn stuff. Alright, this is the research screen. Whoop, 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 whoop. I've been all the way down this science tree to here. You win the game if you research this stuff. And this stuff is just like, double your science, double your production, double your everything for military. Double your money and double your fun. Okay, all the way down to here, which is the first era. To advance eras, like I can't research anything from here, right? To be able to research this stuff, I have to research, I think, 9 things from previous eras. So, I don't believe it has to be directly below, so to unlock this, I can research 9 things from any of this. And it counts towards. I'm not sure. I think it's 18 total, but still. Because I'll have to unlock this first. But whatever. We'll see it happening, so I don't have to talk about it over much. I've already done the mill foundry. No, the mill foundry is going to be important. The kind of science. This is military science. Well, this is what is it? Science and industry. This is military science. This area here is like growth science, which is going to be my like my Empire Mint, I guess. Train over river, train with sea or lake. Dust filtration. I might want to build that. Anything that gives me more dust is going to be huge in my estimation. Let's see. Unlocks resources and stockpiles section of the marketplace. Whatever. We need dust. That's the... So you can't talk to people unless you research this. This makes happiness. This makes... Let's see. What does this do? Improve search on ruins. I'm not interested in that. What I think I should do is go for production right now and then science. So we're going to get the mill foundry first. So we're going to go Founders Memorial, which is going to take 6 turns, and then Empire Mint, then a mill foundry probably. Or we might do the mill foundry before the mint, just to get that going. Alright, that is our first turn. Feels like I talked a lot and didn't accomplish very much. But since we are all set up now and future episodes will happen, I think this is a good place to stop. We've started the game. I've explained some stuff. We've set ourselves up for turn 2. And alright guys, thanks for watching. See you next time.